All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Gonzo and the Judge Sports Talk, Wednesday, August 10th, 2022. Hey, there's a lot of stuff going on. We got some big games coming up tomorrow. Got a lot heading right into the NFL season, just about 5 weeks out. But joined by my co-host, the sports judge Jonathan Mathis. How are you doing, brother?
Hey, I'm doing good, man. It's hot here. It's been very hot. The temperatures have been in the 90s. But you know what? I have braced myself for this heat wave that we are currently experiencing. And you know what? I prefer heat over cold. I know that sounds weird to a lot of people. I know a lot of people find that hard to believe that I like the heat over the cold because we all know, Chris, that you could put on layers when it gets cold. Uh, when it's heat, you can only tolerate so much of the heat. You can't get naked. So
Yeah,
I mean, it's hard to escape this heat that we're dealing with, but I love it. I love the summer months. The only thing I hate is all these bugs that's flying around because you see some of the most wacky and crazy looking bugs that you don't see in the winter months. But
yeah.
other than that, I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing good. It's actually wasn't too bad here. It was a little not as humid today, so it's been kind of nice. Uh, Kind of nice here, especially the last couple of days. Now Saturday, when I was outside doing that wrestling show, it was like 100 degrees outside, and
Oh,
it was a long day. But no, and I'm like you. I'd rather it be cold. Co- uh, I'd rather be hot than cold. Because if I'm cold, I can add, like you said, I can add layers. I worked out in the cold for years, so it don't. I got kind of used to it. But now I don't. I'm not as used to being cold because of my muscle and nerve issues. I get cold, I start shaking real bad. So I'm much rather like it. Much rather be hot than cold.
let's
But
say hello to our guests.
yes, we got Eddie saying
What's up,
yo.
man? Thanks for
Eddie
tuning
saying
in.
what's up, Judge.
Alex is tuning in.
Yeah, we got
Hey, what's
Alex.
up, Alex? And he says that he likes my shoe collection. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate
Yeah,
it.
winter is right around the corner, and yeah, and it sucks. It sucks having to dig your car out of the snow. I
Yes.
100% agree with that.
Well, I don't know what that's like because I live here on the West Coast and we don't get snow in the LA basin. Unfortunately, we have to go to the mountains for that. But it's been my ultimate dream to experience snow and to one day walk out on my front porch. I don't need it every single day. I
Come
just
here,
want it
come
for one
here,
day in my life.
come here
One
in the winter time. We can arrange that.
day.
They said,
Sure.
do you want to build a snowman?" Laughing out loud.
Sure. I would love to build a snowman. I could build one with my daughter. That would be fun.
All right, let's get jump into some sports here. Got a big baseball game coming up tomorrow, and
Yeah.
just so happens my favorite team is in it. The Cincinnati Reds against the Chicago Cubs at the Field of Dreams field. Should be awesome. They put out the throwback uniforms that they're going to wear. The Cincinnati Red ones I thought looked cool as hell. Uh, I'm excited for it tomorrow. Even though the Reds got their asses kicked yesterday, I'm really excited about this game tomorrow.
Well, you know me, Chris. I love baseball. I don't care where it's played. I don't care where the setting is. I just love baseball. And this is a great way to market your brand, by having this Field of Dreams game. This is a living tribute to the 1989 iconic film that we all love so much that starred Kevin Costner, of course, James Earl Jones. And the list goes on. And then this year, this game is even more special because we lost one of the cast members that starred in that movie. Ray Lee. I always mess up his last name. You might be able to say his last name and pronounce it better than I can, but you know who he is. We lost him. He was the guy that would appear in the movie in the field. Um, and it was just a tough loss. So this year, I know they're gonna pay homage to him at the game. That would be nice to see, But there's no disputing the fact that this was one of the best. and most recognizable baseball films ever made. And it's going to be cool to see this game. Will we get another ending like we did a year ago? That epic walk-off hit that we saw from Tim Anderson a year ago. Will we get another one of those in this upcoming game tomorrow night? I mean, I know it's not two of the best teams. It's not, Yankees versus Mets or anything like that. It's Reds versus Cubs. But sometimes when you get those two teams, and you gotta remember these teams are storied franchises too. They've had success way back. It just hasn't been in recent memory. But both of these teams that take the field tomorrow, I mean, they could make this game very exciting. Sometimes when you get two mediocre teams, believe it or not, it turns out to be a great game after all. So maybe we'll get a great game tomorrow. I know I do like the jerseys. I know this game will be televised on Fox, so more people who don't have cable or access to streaming services get a chance to watch this game on local television, which is awesome. But I think it makes for an epic showing. I think we're gonna get two teams that's gonna live up to the hype. They're gonna play, and give us a great baseball game, on a storied field. I'm looking forward to tomorrow night.
Oh yeah, I'm looking forward to it too.
What's up, Freddie?
Yeah, how's it going, Freddie? Last game, last year's game was awesome. I'm glad they're doing this. I think it's cool that they're starting to do this. Just like I think it's cool that they do the major league game there to go along with the Little League World Series as well. I think that's cool ideas. I think that's some stuff that they actually do right when it comes to marketing the game, and they don't do much right when it comes to marketing the game. But I think they have done those two things right. And you're right. The Reds haven't been good here recently, but the Reds used to be one of the best teams in baseball. I mean, one of the best organizations in baseball. You go back in the '70s, the Big Red Machine, man. I mean, the Reds were good, and then, they won it in '90. They haven't done anything since then. It's been a while, and we don't go. Here's the thing: everybody says, "Oh, they're a bad team. They're a bad team," which I agree, they're not a great team. But if you look at the Reds, since May, if you just go by from May to now, they would be tied for first in their division. They've played right at 500 baseball or better. It was the month of April that killed them when they went like 1 for 22. So I mean, the Reds aren't a terrible team, and they're still being competitive, even though they traded every damn body away.
Right. They traded all their stars away, and they're still playing pretty decent baseball.
So I'm looking forward to be a good game tomorrow with the Reds and the Cubs, and Reds and the Cubs being like a rivalry because they're in the same division and everything.
Right.
That adds a little more to me. Adds a little more to it, even though even more going. Just you got the Field of Dreams. Now you also got that rivalry as well. So
and also you're going to get
I'm really looking forward to it.
Right, you're going to get a huge turnout of Cubs fans because of proximity. In Iowa, there are a lot of Cubs fans. So a lot of Cubs fans are going to turn out for this one. It should be a great atmosphere. Should be very exciting seeing tomorrow. And I just can't wait for it.
Yeah, I'm ready for it. And then some breaking news that happened yesterday. So we didn't have a show, so we'll go ahead and jump into it before we jump into some other stuff. Serena Williams basically announcing that she's going to retire here real soon. Sounds like the Open's probably going to be her last tournament that she plays. To me, she's like the Tiger Woods of tennis.
Mm-hmm.
Her and her sister, but especially her, because she was even a little bit better than her sister was. But if you look at it, she means as much to tennis as Tiger means to golf. You know what I mean?
Right.
They changed the sport. They opened it up for more African Americans to get in the sport. They changed how much money people were getting paid playing that sport. They drove up the money because TV contracts got bigger. Everything got bigger because of them. And then she's also done a lot of other stuff. So it's going to be I'm sure it's going to be a big celebration when she does, but the way it talks, it's going to be happening here real soon. But what are your thoughts on that, Judge?
I'm gonna miss Serena Williams. If she does decide to retire, I think she is leaning towards retirement. I think she is contemplating retirement, and now is a good time to walk away from the game of tennis. She's a well accomplished star. She is greatly appreciated and respected. As Eddie, put in a comment column here, the upcoming U.S. Open, as we know, will likely be her last appearance. And certainly as a participant in a Grand Slam event where she has had tremendous success, where she has enjoyed a lot of success. Um, for sure, she is one of the most phenomenal athletes that we've ever seen, and she has dominated her sport for a very, very long time. For sure, this will be remembered as one of the most remarkable careers in sports history. And it's hard to believe that it's coming to an end, but as we know, all great things must come to an end. uh but no one has done it better than her on a golf course. And for a very, very a golf course, excuse me, the tennis court, excuse me. No one has done it better than her. Her accomplishments um, is just unmatched, and again, she's had a legendary career. She's performed at such a high level. It was her mind, her spirit, her willingness, and her drive um, to even reach this point in her career, the longevity, and I think now the last few years you have seen, her become more fatigued. It's grueling, it's intense. And now I think she just wants to spend time with her family, get closer to her daughter, and step away from a game where she has just been amazing, you know, and she's just an unbelievable player, and
Yes.
we could sit here and make the argument that she's the greatest tennis player of all time. I mean, a lot of people, would say there's other tennis stars who came before her who was much better than her, and then there's people that would say that she is the best athlete of all time. But it was her determination, her enormous sacrifices that was required for her to continue to play as long as she has, and to play at such a high level. She was always hungry from a very young age, always poised. A lot of people, idolized her as a tennis star, and she will be greatly missed once she retires from the game. But Williams, her and her sister, they changed the game of tennis. They made a transformation that was unlike any other. And you see it in her game still. The combination of power, the grace, and her competitive fire. That has never eluded her. She's just a remarkable player, and everything she has done on the tennis court um has been self-defining, but like I always say, man, everything comes to an end, and we will always have those great memories, and we will always, you know, um have those special moments. She's a legend. She's a
Yeah.
legend, and she's gonna leave the game at such a high level.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
She's quite, yeah, she's arguably is the best tennis player ever. But I do agree with Eddie. Serena didn't get enough respect and appreciation, and I don't understand. I don't understand why she didn't. I
Right.
just don't know if it's because maybe tennis isn't as popular around some of the United States as it is, maybe in other countries, or what it is. Because I watch tennis when there's Wimbledon's on. If it's a major or if it's a major, I watch it. Don't get me wrong. I don't watch a lot of tennis just to, I mean, if it's just like a regular match, but I do watch the majors. So that's why I think that maybe I mean, I just
Well, she
because
has done
it's not as mainstream of a sport as other sports. So I think that's
right,
why she didn't
mainstream.
get some of the respect and appreciation that
Right,
she should have.
right. But she
If you would
has
have had her in a think about this, if you would have had her in a sport like basketball or golf or something that's a little more mainstream,
right,
she's even gonna get more respect than what she got out of the tennis world.
right. But she has popularized and you know helped the sport evolve, you know, because of her popularity and because of who she is and because of
Yeah.
her status.
And
Uh,
she inspired a lot of
she has inspired a
other
lot of
girls that
young ladies to
yes.
follow her footsteps. And it's always hard to follow the footsteps of another legend. That's never easy, never to be replicated. But I think a large part of what you said is why it's not why she doesn't get the respect that she deserves is well because it's not really a mainstream sport. It's an individual sport. It's a sport that we don't pay close attention to because, for one, yes, Serena Williams is holding it down for the U.S. Right for this long. She has been the face of tennis. And we all know that the woman's from another planet. You know, she's just that damn good. And it's just a shame that tennis doesn't get the love that it deserves. And I think a large part of that too is because we don't have another American that's as dominant as her. If we had another American player that can play at such a high level and compete against her, it would be more exciting and more people would tune in
Well,
because they're
that
looking
could
for that rival player. You see?
that could have competed against her when she was in her prime. Now she's getting where
Right.
you could tell she's not healthy. She's not the
She's not the
same.
same. But you get what I'm saying
Yeah,
though,
but I
right?
get what you're saying. I mean,
You need another American
yeah.
that's on her level that can compete alongside her. All right,
We're not
that
even really
makes it
compete. You just need somebody to be able to take the torch from her. You need
right,
another American to be able to step up
right.
and take the
And
torch
so
from her.
the
And we
Americans haven't really had a box office tennis star on either side, both the
not
man
for a
and
while. Not for a while they haven't.
right.
But one thing I forgot before we got started was we did have another big announcement as of basically tonight. Uh, we are now streaming on the ASAP Sports Network as well. So now you can find Gonzo and the Judge Sports Talk on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch at Gonzo Sports Room, on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch at the ASAP Sports Network, and then on YouTube at the the Sports Judge. So there's that's seven different channels that we're on.
Channels. Yeah.
We're want to thank the guys at ASAP for letting us put our show on the network as well. And
We are grateful.
should be a good time.
We are grateful. And why not watch us on all 7 channels? Get a smart TV in one room, get a smart TV in another, have a laptop, have your phone. Watch us on all 7 channels. Why not?
Hey, oh yeah, Eddie, you're right about that too. With the female boxers,
All
they face the
female
same
sports,
thing.
all female sports struggles, I believe. Eddie's right. I think it's all female sports. Even you hear a lot of people say the women NBA is not as entertaining. And I disagree. I find it very entertaining. I just think it could do a better job marketing its brand,
You have to market it better,
Right.
and you have to, like Jay said, like Jay McLovin said a couple weeks ago, you have to get more women to be sports fans because you get more women to be sports fans. They're going to go watch the NWA or the NWA. They get wrestling, the WNBA. Well, then
Yep.
when they go watch the WNBA, they're going to take their husband or they're going to take their boyfriend with them. Well,
Right.
then guess what? You're going to start getting some more men that are will start being WNBA fans because there'll be a sport they can go watch. They can go watch with their wife,
Mhm.
or they had. So I agree when Jay said that you have to have. They need to get more women fans. They find a way to get more women in there watching the games. The men will come because
Yeah.
I'd be like, hey, let's go to a game. Oh no, it's the WNBA. Oh, okay, let's go. You know what I mean? Men can go
Right.
watch a sport and the wife not be nagging at him. But oh, it's all you want to do is watch sports.
Yeah.
If you had more, you get more women that are sports fans. I think that would really help all women's sports because men will go watch it, especially if their wife or significant other are like, hey, let's go to a game.
Yeah. Got to keep the wife happy.
Because think about it, that's what drives all the men's sports is because so many men are sports fans
Right. Right.
that buy all the stuff. You got to get the women to be fanatics like that, and then you'll start getting more men to follow. Just like more women are starting to follow men's sports now.
Right. Hey, you know what? I totally agree with you from that perspective, and you're absolutely right. You know, if more women start paying attention, maybe that would help with not only marketing, but that would help with TV ratings. You know, endorsement deals, everything. You know,
The more people watch on TV,
right,
the more
right.
money you make on
See,
each TV contract.
and that's why the NFL has become a driving force in this country because you have a high number of women that actually tune in on Sundays to watch NFL football.
Oh yeah, no, I agree 100%. And I agree with what you said. I watch the WNBA. I like I like it. I think it's entertaining. I watch the
I just
Indiana
like
Fever a
sports.
lot.
I just like sports, period. I watch the
Yeah,
youngsters to the women to the
no.
men.
The last 2 days I've been watching Little League baseball all day.
I don't discriminate at
Hey,
all.
tomorrow team from Indiana is in the championship game of regionals. They're playing the team that they beat yesterday.
Uh huh.
Yeah, they beat it. Well, they tried to play on Tuesday or Monday, got rained out. Finished it on Tuesday, and Indiana beat them. Well, that team won their game in the loser bracket part, so they get another chance. Uh, they qualified for the championship game, so they're playing the team they beat 3-1 on Tuesday. So hopefully they play good tomorrow, and we'll have a team about 45 minutes from where I live that would be in the Little League World Series. So I'm
I'll
definitely
be
going to be watching that game tomorrow at 4 o'clock.
I'll be plugged in for sure.
Hey Eddie, you are 100% correct on that one. Women MMA is a lot of times when you watch an MMA card, the women fights are better than the men's fights.
Oh yeah, and for a lot of men, that turns man on seeing women get down. You know, so yeah, I can
No,
see.
a
I
lot of times a lot of times the women fights are a lot to me
are a
are a
lot
lot
more.
better. Now don't get me wrong, there's still some men fights that are good, but yeah, the
Lot
women
more
go at it. The women seem to go at it.
right, right,
Yeah, that's true, Eddie.
yeah,
That sometimes
that's
guys
true.
do it for the money.
Right, and you find
Hi,
that in professional sports now that a lot of these athletes,
Sean
man,
Marie,
are in it for the
Sean Marie
money.
Miles. Hi,
Hi, how are you? Thanks
thanks
for
for
tuning
joining
in.
us.
Thanks for joining us tonight.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, this is awesome.
All right,
This is
let's talk a little NBA real quick, and then we'll jump back into some baseball and some football. Kevin Durant
oh, here we go.
gave the 76ers basically an ultimatum, met with the owner, says he still wants traded, but if they don't trade him, he wants the GM and the head coach gone.
Mm,
Is it just me or has KD lost his mind? Because to me, that is just it's disrespectful and it's like he's like he thinks he's entitled.
KD has lost his damn mind, okay? And this behavior has gone too far. Okay, someone needs to take accountability. Someone needs to hold him accountable. And someone needs to tell him to man up, shut the hell up, and play basketball. I am sick of this man. I am sick and tired of him. Who in the hell is he to give anybody an ultimatum and to tell someone who they should or should not fire, especially the person that's writing the checks? You know, KD is been a brat, a spoiled brat. You know, this is a guy who has some type of sense of entitlement that he thinks this team owes him something when in reality they don't owe him anything. You know, why don't you man up and play the game of basketball? You signed up for this. You agreed to a contract with the team. Now honor the contract and play basketball. But I'm tired of him because he sounds like a petulant child, you know. And he reminds you of that kid. And I know you've been in a grocery store. And you've seen a kid on the cereal aisle. And he's crying. Like he is boo-hooing. And tears is just rolling down his face. You know, his eyes are welled up in tears. And you see a huge puddle below his feet as he is throwing a tantrum while he's sitting in the shopping cart because mama doesn't want to put the cereal in the basket.
Kicking and screaming.
That is who KD is. That's who KD reminds you of. KD is one of the greatest players in the game. I don't think I can deny that. I think we said that a week ago on this show.
You know who KD is?
Last episode, I believe we talked about how great of a player KD is. Probably one of the best scorers in the game, you know, an elite talent. But then he pulls this nonsense. You know, he acts worse than a diva. And, you know, it's just petty. Like, it's just petty. And enough is enough. And, you know, this is why if I'm the Lakers or if I'm any of these teams, the Sixers, the Suns, I wouldn't even touch this guy. Because if something goes wrong or if something goes awry within the organization, what is he going to do? He's going to request a trade. You know, he's going to be a big baby about it. He's not going to handle it like a professional, and he's going to want out.
You know, now, here's what KD is. He's that friend that when everything's going good, he's always with you right there. But once it starts getting tough, he disappears. He's gone. He wants out.
Yep. And that's what happened. And, the going got tough. And now he wants to flake out.
If I'm the owner of Brooklyn, I tell him, I'll trade you if I can get what I can get for you. If not, you'll play. And whoever I decide to have as a GM and coach, that's up to me. If you don't like it, I guess you'll just sit out and you won't get fucking paid. I mean, that's the way I look at it. I mean, to me, it's ridiculous, man. The owners are going to have to do something because I'm all for players having some power and be able to be player mobility. I'm all for that. Right. But it's getting to now where players think they run everything. And they don't need coaches. They want to choose the whole front office. No, the owners have to get some kind of control, or this thing's going to end up blowing up at some point.
Right,
because there's not going to be no structure.
Right, and KD wants to play GM all of a sudden. KD needs to focus on his game. And pull up Eddie's comment real quick. I'm visualizing KD in a
I put that up there a minute ago. But you see, David, it said KD equals AB. I don't know if KD's that bad yet, but
well, he hasn't. He hasn't
crying his eyes out.
I mean, we're talking about a man that never took off his jersey,
exactly, Eddie,
and quit on the team in the middle of the game. I mean, he has quit in different ways, like he has quit on the team before, But he's never quit in the middle of a game and take off his jersey and throw it into the crowd and just leave and disappear.
What people forget are these pro sports, their businesses. It's no different than like me, you, Eddie, or Damien going to work.
Right.
Just to Eddie's point, a player needs to be a player and nothing more, nothing less. Just like when you go to work, you got to be an employee, nothing more, nothing less. You don't get to go to work and tell tell the owner of your company if you don't get rid of your boss and the other guy that's ahead of him that you want a new job.
You might get the boot. You might be
the owner's gonna look at you like you're fucking crazy. Yeah.
Okay, you want to talk like that?
And it's no different, but people act like these pro athletes are entitled more. It's a business. It's just they make a lot more money, but it's the same concept. It's still a job.
At the end of the day, it's still a job. It's still your occupation.
And you have bosses, and right now none of them. You know what I mean? It's like a lot of the owners are losing control. NBA, I think, is the worst right now, but the NFL is starting to head that way. You're starting to see guys want to sit out and still be under contract. Just think, you got to remember this: KD just signed a 4-year extension that starts this year. That hasn't even started yet, and he's demanding the trade and demanding who the GM and who the coach is, and they haven't won nothing yet.
Right. And the circus.
One year they got put out, which they were close, and this year they got swept by Boston.
Right. The circus still hasn't left Brooklyn. It's still there. You know, you got a bunch of clowns juggling basketballs. You know, you got an elephant stampede running through Brooklyn. I mean, it's just chaotic. So
exactly, Glenn. They fire your ass if you make an ultimatum. Oh, there's a stat guy.
No, I'm tired of KD, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children.
I thought about turning off my notifications because I feel like he's just blowing up for no reason. Thank
you, stat guy. We appreciate that.
Yeah, we do appreciate you, stat guy. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, man. I don't know, man. I'm just over KD. Like, when is enough enough?
I just don't want. Did you hear about Ben Simmons?
And he's another one.
Did you hear about where I guess they messaged him in the group chat to see if he was going to play game 4, and he left the group chat. Didn't respond. Didn't say yes, no, F you or nothing. He just left the damn group chat. Eddie. It is starting to happen. It is starting to happen in the NFL a little bit now, but right now, I think the biggest sport is NBA is having the biggest problem with it.
NBA is having a big problem.
It is starting to trickle over to the NFL
with softness, with players who are not fully committed, with players who, like Dustin just said, need to be the center of attention. And I feel that way with Kyrie Irving. I feel that way with Ben Simmons. And, you know, these 3 guys are made to be together, okay? It's a match made in heaven. If you really look at the way the roster is and how the team is constructed, it's a match made in heaven because those 3 guys have similar personalities. And that's probably why the experiment has blown up in Brooklyn's face, because you got 3 guys with similar personalities.
I love it, Glenn. I love it. The NDA, the National Diva Association.
That was cool. That, you know what? That might be the best comment tonight. I like that one.
That's a good fit. Perfect fit.
You know, and I also made a joke before that the NBA was the no boys allowed league, you know. And it feels like you're dealing with a bunch of little boys now. You know,
it's getting out of control.
Yeah. Damien here.
Yeah, now I heard that Ben Simmons stuff. I was cracking up. They said he just left the group chat. Like, he couldn't even tell them bye or nothing. He just left.
Got to pull up his pants. Be a big boy. You know, when your teammates are confronting you, Speak up. Stand up for yourself. Don't just leave the group chat. That tells me all I need to know about Ben Simmons, how soft he is. That he can't, that he can't take the heat.
And he said he stopped caring about the NBA after all these super teams.
Yeah, it's a watered down league now. It's a bunch of soft players. The officiating is so inconsistent. They want to blow the whistle for every damn thing now. It's freaking annoying. I mean, this NBA, the NBA is not what it used to be. I miss the 90s NBA. The 90s NBA, when they didn't call those ticky-tack fouls, when they let them play, when the game was more physical, when the game,
What's
actually
up, Mike Hughes?
mattered, when every game felt like it actually counted, because now some of these games, they're just a complete joke. You look at the All-Star game. You look at the NBA All-Star game. It's an utter joke now. They used to play the game as if it had some meaning to it, as if the games were actually meaningful. Now they just go out there and want to turn the game into a dunk contest. Well, we saw that Saturday night. We don't want to see a repeat of a dunk contest on a Sunday night.
Hell, the dunk contest ain't even good no more because none of the stars get in it.
No, that's a clown show too, as well. But the NBA, I'm with Eddie. It's a totally different game now. It's not the same as it used to be. What's up, Mike? Thanks for tuning in, man.
What's up, Mike Hughes? Thanks for tuning in.
Mike is my guy. Mike is my guy, man.
Damien said Pippen started it in the 90s.
Pippen started what?
Steve Francis, Vince Carter, Tracy McGrady were my guys. Yep. I remember T-Mac.
Yeah, I remember the T-Mac days.
Exactly. I remember each team having their own superhero. That's exactly because, like me, I'm here in Indiana. My favorite basketball player of all time, Reggie Miller.
Yeah, and there was so much parity back then too in the game of basketball. There was a lot of parity. Reggie Miller did it all with one team. No, he didn't win a championship, but he stayed loyal to the Indiana Pacers. And it's rare that you see a player nowadays stay on one team. That's very rare. I think Damian Lillard might be the guy to pull it off, though.
You see quite a few. You don't see as many now.
No.
So, I mean, I don't know. It's just, it's a totally different game. I watch it more.
Well, it's a different generation.
I watch a lot of the Pacer games,
right?
Just because, like I said, I'm a sports fan. If it's on, I watch whatever. But the regular season isn't. I mean, I don't know. Regular season isn't the most important. You know what I mean? It don't mean nothing. Like the NFL, the regular season means something.
Right.
You feel like every game means something.
Right.
College football, every game means something.
Yep.
NBA, it don't.
But see,
Major League Baseball, it don't.
Right. But Gonzo, you gotta remember this too. It's a different generation. So a lot of these young guys in the NBA today, they are compelled to leave teams to take the easier route to win an NBA championship. And a lot of these guys are buddies and they want to team up together and win with their buddies. Back in the day, it was okay to be buddies off the court. But when it was time, you
had rivalries. You had rivalries.
Yeah.
When do you hear people talk about rivalries in the NBA?
Right. Don't talk to me right now.
The Knicks and Pacers.
Not best friends right now.
The Knicks and Pacers.
Right.
The Indiana Pacers and the New York Knicks.
Right.
That was a rivalry. In the 90s, that was a rivalry. You don't see no rivalries anymore like you did back before. And
right.
And it's because of that. No one wants to earn the title.
That's true. No one wants to earn the title. They want to win it. They want to take the easy way out and
that's a good point.
And have
that's a good point by Glenn as well. AAU culture.
Right. Oh yeah.
I don't know. They're gonna have to change some things though, or they're gonna get themselves in some trouble.
I'm not sure how you can change it. I really don't know what would be a solution.
All right. Are the Cleveland Browns making a mistake starting Deshaun Watson in the preseason?
What's up with the Brownies now?
Preseason was or the excuse me, Watson was suspended for 6 games by the judge. NFL's appealing it. NFL's wanting at least a year and a fine. They sent it to this other guy. So you're probably saying that he's probably going to get a year, even though I think it's stupid that that they appealed it. It makes no damn sense. Why'd you even hire a judge and then that you don't like their decision, so let's appeal it so we can make it how we want it. Just make the damn decision in the first place and get it over with, instead of it taking a year and a half. But he's eligible to play right now, so they're planning on starting him this weekend. From what I hear, the only way he won't start is if his suspension was to come out by the end of the week. I don't know. I just think it's a crazy situation, and I think it's silly that they're going to play him, because if you know he's not going to have them, why are you taking snaps away from the guy that's going to be starting? You know what I mean? Why take the snaps away? Why not let Brissett play a little bit more in the preseason? I know you're risking an injury, but let him get used to the offense and get used to the receivers and stuff in at least kind of a game atmosphere. You know what I mean? So I don't understand why you're starting them. I just don't understand why start them. To me, it don't make no sense.
It don't make any sense, but that's the Brownies for you. We've been knowing this about the Brownies for years, Chris. This team is desperate for a quarterback, right? So they're really trying their hardest to experiment to see what they have in Deshaun Watson. But why would you do that? Risk injury. Why would you even play him at all? I think to begin with, this is a mess. This is a mess for the Cleveland Browns, and it's a moral failure for the Cleveland Browns. You're not really going to get much from this guy, I don't think. At least not this season. It looks like he could get suspended for the rest of the season, right? It's looking that way. Now that they're carefully looking at this again. Is that what I'm hearing?
I think the lowest that he'll get will be 12 games and a fine.
Well, there you go.
I think he's going. But they're pushing for the whole season. But to me, like I said, it's stupid. Why didn't they just make the damn decision to begin with?
Right.
You decide to do it this way, and then it don't come back how you want it, and you get mad.
Right. I don't know.
Have you watched the first episode of Hard Knocks yet?
I did not watch the first episode of Hard Knocks, but looking at this comment from
I haven't watched it yet either. I'm gonna have to watch it.
Raylan. Yeah. Excuse me if I'm messing up your name, but
chances of Lions winning NFC North.
I don't know when you got Jared Goff as quarterback.
Well, I was gonna say that worries me about the Lions a little bit. I think the Lions are going to be better. I like their coach. I like Dan Campbell. I think Dan Campbell is going to get that team competing. I really do. I think they'll be better this year, especially if they can stay healthy. I just don't know if Goff is the guy to lead them to the division.
Right.
And I think Minnesota is going to be a lot better team this year than they were last year. I know the Packers receiving core isn't the greatest, but they still have Aaron Rodgers, who's been the back-to-back league MVP. So you can't count the Packers out. I think the Vikings are going to be real good.
The Vikings are being overlooked, like Dustin said.
And then you have the Bears. I think the Lions could quite possibly finish ahead of the Bears in that division. That wouldn't surprise me if they did, because like I said, I do like Dan Campbell, and I think he's moving that team in the right direction.
Right.
But I think they're going to have to find him a quarterback. I just don't think Goff is going to be the answer. But I think the Vikings are right there at winning that division.
Right.
But like I said, I'm not going to count Aaron Rodgers out, but
he's definitely.
I would give Detroit a big shot at least not being last in the division.
I don't know. I don't
I
think
don't
they
know about wild card spot.
Jared Goff. I don't know. Look, I watched a lot of Jared Goff when he played for the Rams, and this guy could not read the field.
I agree with you, Dustin. Vikings are going
He
to be
could
tough.
not read the field. Yeah, the Vikings are going to be better than what a lot of people say they are. I do agree with that. But when you can never bet against Aaron Rodgers. And when you got Aaron freaking Rodgers still with the Green Bay Packers, I just don't see that happening. I don't see it.
You see the comment?
Goff showed a lot of bright spots towards the end of the season. He did.
Yeah.
He did show some bright spots, but the thing with him is, can he do it on a consistent level? And I'm not sure he can.
Damian has the Lions in second and the Vikings last. I don't see that. I don't see the Vikings being last. I really don't. They finally got him an offense. They've got an offensive coach with Kirk Cousins.
Them finishing second to the.
I think if that defense plays better, they're going to be good. They're going to be right there with trying to win that division.
They're going to finish second behind the Packers. I think the Packers are still the kings.
Alex Wood, the Steelers are interesting because they're probably going to start Trubisky at the beginning of the season. And
right.
I don't know if we even know what Trubisky is because he had Matt Nagy as a coach. And anybody that's listened to me before knows I think Matt Nagy's just straight garbage as a coach. And I think that had a lot to do with it. There was a year and a half or so Trubisky did play at a decent level. Being with Mike Tomlin, and Pittsburgh's going to try to run the ball and play defense. I think Trubisky will be. I think he'll be. Actually, I think he'll be better than what Big Ben was last year. I know people are going to get mad at me for saying that, but Big Ben was a shell of himself. He might not finish the season. A lot of it depends on how Pickett is looking. You know what I mean? They're in the guy they drafted and everything, but I think that's going to be a tough division though too, because you don't know what the Browns are going to be.
Right.
You got the Bengals, who I expect to be, I think are going to be better than they are last year, because I think they made their offensive line better, and I think if you give Burrow more time and he's not getting sacked 9 times and 7 times a game, they're going to even be harder to beat. And then you have the Ravens, so. I think the Steelers in that tough division, I'd be surprised if they make the playoffs. But I'm never going to count Mike Tomlin out because he hasn't had a losing season since he's been the coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers.
That's the thing. But then, the play at quarterback is the biggest question mark on this team right now. As we know, the Steelers have been accustomed to great quarterback play with Ben Roethlisberger for all those years. So, this is going to be a huge adjustment for them. And now we'll have to wait and see if that next guy in place at the quarterback position can step up for them. But Mike Tomlin is still one of the best head coaches in the NFL because he knows how to connect and motivate his players. And, he knows how to keep his team together, especially during a time of adversity. So it'll be interesting to see what these Steelers can bring next season. But I think they do have an up and down crazy schedule.
What do you think they're going to do with Kareem Hunt?
I think they hold on to him.
Back to players wanting to demand things. He's demanding the trade, but they said they're going to decline.
I don't think they're not going to trade him. They're going to hold on to him.
You think he plays?
I think he plays.
I mean,
why would he sit out and hurt his trade value?
Well, that's what I think as well. But you know how you never know what
right
with these younger players nowadays. You never know, man.
Kareem Hunt is going to KC.
He might end up back at KC.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Trubisky could play good in that system, Dustin, as well. I agree with you. If Mason Rudolph and Landry Jones played in that system, I think Mitch will be okay. I really do. I think a lot of Trubisky's problem was Matt Nagy.
Mike Tomlin brings the best out of his players, though.
Hey, Eddie, Chicago, I think, is at least moving in the right direction. They finally got rid of Nagy. I think the coach they hired will be a good coach for him. Eberflus knows he's real great on defense. So for them, it's going to be who they hire. How well does their offensive coordinator develop
Right.
Fields? If they got the right offensive coordinator to develop Fields, they're going to be good because Eberflus is good on the defensive side of the ball. So I look for the Bears to improve. I don't know if this will be the year that they'll make a big improvement, but I do think they're moving in the right direction with some of the moves they made.
Yep, they're trending in the right direction. I would agree with you there. Thanks for the comments, everyone.
Oh,
Thanks
yeah.
for chiming in.
We appreciate it. We appreciate everybody in the comments section. Appreciate everybody joining us. Don't real quick before we move on, don't forget you can find us live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch at Gonzo Sports Room. Also, you can find us live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch at the ASAP Sports Network, all sports, all plays. And you can also find us live on the Sports Judge YouTube. So you can find us a lot of different ways. We appreciate everybody watching. Please hit that subscribe button on all the YouTube channels. Like and follow the Facebook and Twitches. Follow us on social media. You can find me on social media at Gonzo Sports Room on YouTube, Facebook, and Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Or you can find me at Chris D Gonzalez on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. You can find the judge a lot of different places as well. I'll let him tell you where you can find him at. But appreciate everybody joining us. And before we move on to the next topic I have here, let the people know where they can find the judge at.
Yes, you guys can find me on various platforms. You guys can find me on Instagram, SportsJudge85. Follow me there. You guys can also follow me on Twitter, SportsJudge85. You guys can keep up with my content. I have a fan page called The Sports Judge. Make sure you guys follow and like that page. On Facebook, it's called The Sports Judge. So follow me there. And you guys can also follow this live stream, and you can follow myself. I do short take sports videos as well. You guys can follow my YouTube channel, The Sports Judge.
Thank you, Eddie. We appreciate that. Eddie says he loves these streams.
Thank you, Eddie. We appreciate it. We appreciate all our viewers. We want to thank you guys so much. This is a humbling experience, and it's great that you guys have joined us for this episode.
One other thing before we get to the next topic. Glenn said he followed you on Twitter. Glenn's a cool dude. I see Glenn at a lot of the wrestling events. He goes to all the Indiana Fever stuff and race stuff around here in Indiana. Glenn's a good dude. But before we move on, you can also find the Gonzo and Judge Sports Talk each episode in podcast form on Apple Podcasts, Anchor Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, most places you listen to podcasts. Gonzo and the Judge Sports Talk. You can find it there. So if you want to listen to the audio version, you can find it there. And also on Spotify, you can watch a video version of it as well. So you have the option to watch video version on YouTube or Spotify. So Spotify just isn't live, but when I download it onto the podcast stuff, there will be a video version of on the Spotify network as well. Go ahead. What'd you say, John?
I said we're all over the place.
But reports came out today that Baker Mayfield is blowing Darnold away in the quarterback competition. They said Darnold can't keep up with Baker, from what the reporter was saying. Said that training camp's done for the week, and basically the quarterback competition is as well. He could see it maybe by next week. The Panthers announcing that Baker Mayfield's their starter. I mean, he talked like that Baker was a better leader. Baker was just ahead of them, getting to know everybody, and just like on the field, making like Baker's making all the right decisions. And yeah, from what this reporter was saying was that basically Baker Mayfield's blowing Darnold out the water in this QB competition. Uh, I said this last night on Unscripted, and it started making it surprised Pride and Logan and them, but they were asked for a sleeper team, one in the AFC and one in the NFC. And my sleeper team in the NFC was the Carolina Panthers. Not saying that they're going to go to a Super Bowl or anything, but if Christian McCaffrey stays healthy and Baker Mayfield plays at the level that I think he can play at, with that defense they have, because Carolina has a good defense, I think they possibly could get a wild card and make the playoffs. I think they could be a sleeper team to make the playoffs. But what do you think about the report that Baker Mayfield is blowing Darnold out of the water?
Well, there's
in this
noticeable
QB competition.
There's noticeable energy, right, from this guy. This guy brings the competitive fire. He brings a lot of energy. And the energy, there is an energy and a tempo that hasn't been seen within the Carolina Panthers for some time now. And a signal caller is also developing chemistry with those tasks. So with making plays for the betterment of the team. And that's what you're seeing with Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield is 10 times better than Sam Darnold. Okay, let's not try to pretend like Sam Darnold is the better quarterback when in reality we know deep down inside that's not true. That's a false statement, you know. So I'm not surprised that he looks more game ready, that he looks like the quarterback that's going to be taking the snaps on game day, as he should, you know, because he's just a better overall quarterback than Sam Darnold. And I knew once they traded for him, that was their direction. You know, even though they got him for cheap, you know, the ultimate goal was to make him eventually the starting quarterback. Now, you're not just going to throw him in there as a starting quarterback. You're going to at least make him compete for the starting job. And now that he has shown flashes, and now that he has shown what he's capable of doing, you know, the Carolina Panthers are making it real clear that they want to make him that guy. And Baker Mayfield, yes, he does have leadership qualities. But there's times that he gets overzealous. There's times that he wears his emotions on his sleeves and he becomes too emotional that he can't, you know, control himself. We've seen that with Baker Mayfield. We've seen that. But we also know that when this guy is healthy, you know, he can make the throws down the field. You know, he can make plays. He can, you know, he has that mobility to escape the pocket and buy some time and find his intended targets. We've seen Baker Mayfield make plays. You know, now there's been questions about his accuracy and his, you know, poor decisions at times. But I think if he's in the right system and working with the right people,
I didn't hear that.
What happened?
MLB's not going to have the Field of Dreams game in 2023.
No, they're looking at a new venue right now. I heard that today, actually. They're looking at some.
Dustin says he's at the venue right now, and there's so much excitement for tomorrow. You going to the game tomorrow, Dustin? I wish I would have had the money where I could have got tickets, because my girl, her favorite team is the Cubs. My favorite team is the Reds. It'd been awesome to be able to go to Field of Dreams and watch that game.
That would be cool.
But like Dustin said, I agree. It was exactly what I'm saying. I think Matt Rule's been missing a quarterback. I think with Baker, I think they're going to be good this year. I really do. I'm not saying they're going to win a Super Bowl, but I think they're going to be pretty decent. I really think with their defense and with him that they'll be all right.
And remember this, Baker Mayfield is in pursuit of making this opportunity count because he knows this could be his last chance. Yeah. He knows that this is a make or break for him.
And when does Baker Mayfield perform the best? When he's the underdog.
Right. And when his back is against the wall.
Yeah, two-time walk-on.
Everyone is doubting him.
Yes.
he
That's when
responds.
he play. That's when he plays at his best.
Right. So I think this is the best situation for him. I think it's great for the Carolina Panthers. And I think the Carolina Panthers, like you said, are going to be a better team than a lot of people expect. Because look, what a lot of people also overlook is that they got a pretty good defense.
Dustin
Carolina
said,
has a
"Yeah,
pretty
he's
good
going
defense.
tomorrow. Went to the Iowa Cubs game tonight. Oh, I bet you that was. I bet you that was a great time. Hey, man, I hope you have a blast tomorrow night. At the That has to be awesome down there at the Field of Dreams.
Oh yeah, that has to be a cool sight for sure.
I just didn't have the money to do it this year with some of my medical stuff going on, but
Yeah, well, I was assuming
I
that
would have
they were
liked
going
to.
to play next year, so I thought maybe I could make the trip next year.
I wonder why they're looking for a new. Why are they looking for a new venue?
Well, they want to try out something new. They were looking at Negro League fields, from what I heard. So I guess they want to change the scenery a bit and take it to another venue and see how it works out there.
If you're wanting to do that, I would do like change it like every like 10 years or something.
No, I think this is how I would do it. Keep the Field of Dreams game, have a Negro League game, have a Little League game where you play at the Little League
Yeah,
stage. There you go. Like the NFL, they have some of
yeah.
these London and Mexico City games. Do it like that. That's how I would do it.
They're looking to play a game at the Hall of Fame in Cooperstown.
Yeah, but then you could still play that game. You could still have the Field of Dreams game, and you could still have the Little League game.
Well, the only problem you have is with the traveling. Like if you're in a series, because in baseball you usually play a 3 or a 4 game series.
Right,
You don't
right.
play many teams just like in a one game. You know what I mean?
The logistics won't be so bad though. I don't think so. I don't think that'll affect the players too much.
Yeah, it'd be interesting.
Now it'd be interesting if you had to travel consistently like that all the time. Then
Yeah.
yeah. But just for that one night, that one game, and that one moment, nah.
Michael Thomas returned to the field and participated in drills. First time he's been on the field in about a year and a half or so.
Yep. Yep.
You think Thomas is going to be the same guy as he was when we last seen him? For one, he hasn't played in over a year and a half, coming off an ankle. And for two, he no longer has Drew Brees throwing him the football. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, the expectations for the Saints wide receiver room is very high with him back in the mix of things.
And don't get me wrong, they have a quarterback that can sling the ball.
Right.
Nobody's ever said that Jameis Winston can't sling the ball. It's that sometimes he slings it to the wrong team. But with that being said, last year before he got hurt, they were like 5-2, and he had only turned the ball over like 3 or 4 times. He had like I think 16, 17 touchdowns. So if Winston can stay healthy, and that Saints defense is a pretty good defense as well, the Saints could be a scary team.
The Saints can be a scary team, and my focus is their defense because I think their defense is going to be really, really good. Especially their secondary. I really like their secondary. I think their secondary is going to be very dangerous, and a lot of people are, not paying close attention to them. They're not, getting the praise. They're not, heavily regarded. But that defense is something to look out for. Jameson Winston, he's not that bad of a quarterback when he's not turning over the ball and when he's healthy. And before that injury last season, he was on a roll. I mean, he was really kicking some ass out there. Then he went down with the injury. It was deflating. The Saints couldn't really get back on their feet. They couldn't really find their footing. And they were a different team without him. So now you're going to have Jameson Winston. I think if he takes better care of the football, if he doesn't turn over the football, if he's not an interception turnover machine, I think this team has a chance to really go places. I think this team can scare a lot of people, put fear in a lot of people, and be very dangerous, both on the offensive side and the defensive side.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, I agree, and I agree with what Dustin says as well here that Michael Thomas don't have to be what he. Hey, I got there's two Chris's on the screen. Here we go, but he doesn't. You're right, Dustin. He doesn't have to be that guy because they did add some pieces to take some of the load off of him. So I think that Saints are. I think Saints are going to be another team that people are kind of overlooking. Uh, I know a lot of people are saying they're going to be good, but then you got a lot of people that just act like the Saints are gone. Um, and I do think if Jameis Winston can stay healthy, that and with that defense the Saints have, the Saints are going to be uh, a team that is going to be dangerous, especially come toward the end of the year.
Yeah, so watch out for them Saints because they will come marching in.
Well, before we get out of here, was there anything that you wanted to talk about that I missed on the topics?
Gonzo, man, we're losing a lot of people. We lost Van Scully. We lost Olivia Newton-John. Huge loss in Hollywood. Someone that I really liked. I know she was a little bit before my generation and my time. I know she was a popular star in the 70s. But I wanted to honor her tonight. She will be sorely missed. Throughout the community, huge loss. She was known for her charm, her beauty, her, acting talents, and her beautiful voice. Just excellent at everything she did. I watched Grease this afternoon. And then Vince Scully, we all know how legendary he was, the famed LA broadcaster who will be missed, but his voice will never be silent. We're losing a lot of people, man. So I just want to say this, and I know we hear these names because they're celebrities and everything, but there's also people who we don't even know that's dying every day. And, I just want to send out a message and say, you know what? Grab your loved ones a little bit tighter, hug them, give them a big hug, and tell them how much you love them. Because you just never know. You just never know. These days are flying. These days are moving faster than ever, it seems. It's ridiculous that we're already about to be going into fall, that the summer is coming to an end. So cherish life a little bit more. Enjoy your
Won't be too long, and we'll have playoff
right,
baseball and
right,
NFL football at the same
right.
time.
So
Love it.
enjoy, but I just want to say, enjoy your loved ones right while they're here because
Oh yeah,
you just never know.
never know what's going to happen.
Right.
Yeah, I saw that Dustin that Kane was reelected as mayor.
In Kentucky?
I think it's Tennessee. It might be Kentucky. It's either
Oh yeah,
Tennessee or Kentucky.
in Kentucky.
Yeah, it's in one of them, and yeah, he's been mayor there for at least one term, maybe two.
Well, that's like the
We
former
lost.
wrestler Ventura from back in
Yep,
the day. He used to be the governor of
yep.
Minnesota.
We lost the judo master Gene LaBelle.
Yeah,
You ain't lying, Judge.
it's so sad, It's a lot of people,
Oh yeah,
man.
we got playoff soccer. Will be
They're
coming
leaving
up.
us. They're leaving us, and we're talking about legends and people that we were inspired by and that we looked up to, So, but that's everyday life. I mean, there's people, like I said, there's people every day we don't even know that's out here dying, and someone is mourning their death. So, I mean,
And if you're yeah,
there,
and also if you're a sports fan, check out during the day tomorrow. If you can't find something that interests you, check out this little league baseball. I'm telling you, it's fun to watch.
Oh yeah, it's fun to watch the kiddos play, man.
Watch Indiana play Kentucky tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern, and hopefully Hagerstown, Indiana, this team makes it to the Little League World Series. That'd be pretty awesome.
My daughter might be a softball player, man. She's already throwing across the room. She's making throws across her body already. It's incredible, and she's only 1 year old.
Oh yeah, I started my son in baseball when he was 3. He's playing t-ball at 3.
Oh yeah. I might have to sign her up for something because
by 5 he was playing machine
athletic abilities.
By the age of 5, he was playing machine pitch with the 8 and under kids.
Oh man, yeah, my
But I
daughter.
was a coach. I was coaching at the time, so I had access to a pitching machine and stuff. So I always worked with him. I'd take him up there to hit. I was pitching with him in that machine when he was probably 4 years old. I just turned the speed down, and then as he got a little bit better, I'd outspeed it up some.
Yep.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
no.
Maddie, she's showcasing her talents though.
You got any final thoughts before we get out of here for tonight?
I want to thank our viewers. I want to thank all our viewers for joining us tonight. That's awesome.
Eddie said it was an amazing show. Eddie, we really appreciate that.
Appreciate you guys. You know, we appreciate you guys for taking the time out of your night to join us. You guys don't have to do that. So thanks for investing your night to tune in and to join us for a little sports talk. We have fun doing this. We love doing this. And we'll be back on Friday with more.
Yeah, please hit that subscribe button on the YouTube pages, at Gonzo Sports Room, The Sports Judge, ASAP Sports Network. Go over, check out the ASAP Sports Network. They have a lot of great analysts over there. I'm on the afternoon. I host the afternoon show over there, Monday through Friday, 1 p.m. Eastern. They have a great morning show. You got Mike Hughes over there, who's a great analyst. Jay McLovin and Frankie and Logan Landers do the unscripted on Tuesdays and Thursday nights, which is an awesome show that sometimes the judge is on, and I'm on usually every Tuesday and Thursday. So there's a lot of great shows over on the ASAP. Go check them out.
Check me out. I bounce around like a basketball on those shows. Sometimes I'm on the morning show. Sometimes I'm on the afternoon show. Sometimes I'm on unscripted. You'll find me all over the place on ASAP.
And I do a sports betting show that is on the Gonzo Sports Room channels and on the ASAP channels. But we appreciate all the support, and we will see you guys Friday night at 11 p.m. Eastern with another episode of Gonzo and the Judge Sports Talk. Thanks for joining us. Have a great night. Stay safe, and we'll see you guys Friday.
Go!
Whole sports all plays. Yeah. Whole sports all plays. Whole sports all plays. 365, we making up plays. You talking the game, get you to the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety topics living the same. All presentation, sports information. Hitting the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. Whole sports all plays.